Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. This is your host, Kriss and Dpalm here, and we're here to review Season 5, Episode 13 of The Flash, Goldfaced. So, look, so every week I come in here, I try to read these synopsises, and they never make sense. And so, and I feel bad about what I'm about to say because I just told Dpalm that I'm not springing bad things up on him anymore. But I did forget to mention this one thing. I'm going to just start making up my own synopsises for these.
So you guys see why I have trust issues, right? Like everyone listening gets it.
Look,
I want to make sure because like I didn't say a word. I pointedly was like, I'm letting him explain it.
Look,
and then as soon as you were done, you're like, well, that doesn't sound good. Saying out loud, did it sound good saying out loud, Kriss?
It's not as bad as it sounds, though. I just want you to...
You answered, did it sound good? Once you said it out loud, you're like, well, that doesn't sound great. Tell me at least you have that amount of self-awareness.
Like, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I feel like, I have hurt Dpalm in the past, and I'm trying here.
I need you to admit this sounds bad.
Look, I want you to understand that I'm pulling a Liam Neeson right here, and I'm telling you that I have bad thoughts, but I'm not actually acting on them. And I really want you to kind of be a team player and give me some credit here, okay?
Well, let's move on to the show.
All right, so
that was really that's upsetting to me. Let's just move on.
The Kriss synopsis for this episode is: Barry and Ralph go undercover as SEAL Team 2 to recover a piece of tech to stop Cicada. Nora finds out that Sherloque's dick is not his friend and uses that to distract him from investigating her. And Iris does something really, really, really fucking dumb.
You can't do this every week. Like, let me just.
But am I wrong?
That was fine. We had our laughs. You cannot do this every week.
Why can't I do it every week? I think I did a pretty accurate synopsis of this week's episode.
It's not about the accuracy, and you know it's not about the accuracy.
I mean, if it's
There's
about
no point in pointing out the obvious holes in this show. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, if it's about entertainment value, I think this is very entertaining for the fans.
I thought it was a good episode. No.
No.
No one's entertained by that but you.
Wait, hold on. Why is anything in my synopsis say that this wasn't a fun episode? Like, I enjoyed this episode. Don't get me wrong. Like, Barry and Ralph turned into SEAL Team 2. I don't know how that fucking happened, but they just took out an entire fucking group of hardcore underground mercenaries without their powers. I'm sorry.
You know how it happened. Ralph told you. All that Red Dead paid off.
You know what I was hoping for? I was actually hoping for them to be like, well, that week we played a paintball, or that week we played laser tag really paid off for us. Because holy shit, man! Like, I'm watching this episode going, did Ralph and Barry just take down this entire group with stun guns? Like, I was not complaining. I was just impressed. I was rather impressed.
I was most impressed by Barry's heel turn.
Oh,
I'm the chemist. I was like, yo, he's the chemist.
Well, so in all seriousness, this is something we've been talking about for a while now, and we actually mentioned it 2 episodes ago. We mentioned the fact that it was in the Seeing Red episode where Barry was starting to contemplate. It's like, yo, in order to take Cicada down, I might have to kill this motherfucker. Like, we've kind of talked about this before, but this is really a guy that does not seem to be reasoned with. And in this episode, you have Barry kind of going down that dark path of the end justify the means. And while he kind of comes back and says, oh, well, the end, they end up not killing Goldface. And it's like, well, there's always is another way. But I'm like, yeah, but you did think you killed him. I mean, he had like gold oozing out of his eye sockets.
Like, I don't think body's supposed to do that, even if you are gold plated.
Yeah,
right.
You kind of seem shocked that he was alive at the end. So,
yo, that was the most dramatic. There is a pulse. I was like, what the fuck? I just
right.
How about good? There's a pulse, not a beat. Oh, there's a pulse. Like, he sounded almost like kind of let down.
Yeah, thank you. I was about to say the same thing. I was like, Barry kind of seemed like kind of let down that he didn't kill the motherfucker. It's like, so I'm bringing this up because I find it. I think this is not something that we haven't done before on this show. But I really like the way that they've been kind of easing us into this Barry kind of going down this dark path and then pulling himself back, because we said this in previous seasons, like they've done too much of like having Barry go immediately into the dark, and so the entire season is dark, and we're all just going like, yo, this is not Arrow. What are you guys doing? You guys can't out dark Arrow. So this season has done a good job of still keeping it feeling like The Flash, but seeing Barry contemplate going down that yo, what am I gonna do? And just like him having to face it. And it really makes me feel like, because again, I'm catching up on the Flash comics, and we've read me and you are Flash guys. We read these comics.
Right.
This is what Flashes go through. Like their comics never go to the darkness of Batman in terms of their tone, but in terms of what Barry and Wally go through each episode and each issue, they're pretty fucked up, and they go through some really, really dark things that would really send people down, a dark path. But they always pull themselves back and always come back from that. So I've really been in. I think they really have found a way to really balance the tone of this season with making sure we're getting somebody who's really, that's pushing Barry to that edge, but never making Barry cross that edge. And if he does, have him be like, yo, I kind of need to fall the fuck back a little bit, So, yeah.
I really liked Ralph as kind of morality arbiter.
Yo, they've been doing such a good job with Ralph this season.
And it's been real subtle, and it's been really kind of deftly written, but he's turned into a hero.
Yeah. Like Ralph going, listen, Barry, this is not you. You don't go in these circles. I'm gonna go and do this. And then when he gets faced with, the paper with the kids and not being able to, these kids are gonna need this machine to get these organs. Like I can't do this. Like I'm not that guy either, right? Because I think that was one thing that stood out about Ralph last season, why it kind of turned people off. And again, credit where credit's due. Dpalm was right. You were always saying that, as long as they can pull Ralph back and show that he's not that dick, and it's kind of like it's his defense mechanism, it's his facade, and they really have shown that this season where you're like, yeah, Ralph just needed to be Ralph is not that guy. He's not the dick he likes to put forth in front of everybody. He really is, like you said, he's a hero. He really is. Right. He's gonna do the right thing when it comes down to it. He's not walking that circle either, So I really, and you'll give credit where credit's due to this season on the CW. I really feel like they really have experimented with different things. Like this is an episode where Barry doesn't put the suit on until the very, very last scenes. He's not in the suit. And it doesn't feel like, oh wow, this is stupid. It moves the story forward. It moves this underlying theme of Barry not crossing the line forward, and it's still a good episode, and it works. And it kind of reminds me of what they did with, they obviously did it more with Arrow, where you lock up Oliver for like the first 6-7 episodes, and don't put him in the suit. So, I really like how they did that here.
No, you're 100% right. It's interesting because we think of this as like the high sci-fi show, and largely it is. It involves time travel shenanigans and doppelgangers across multiverses, but it's also like a super grounded episode. Mm-hmm. No one's using their powers.
Yeah.
No one's out here showing what they do, and it actually does a really good job, I thought, of highlighting both Nora and Iris's kind of their dual lives in the team, because while Nora is on a mission of her own, it's not inherently a bad thing that he meets another version of his wife.
Right.
And he finds out that she's a meta and he has someone to protect. Like, yes, her intentions are bad, but I don't know, the outcomes don't seem as bad right now because, of course, Thawne's got this 3-dimensional fucking chess going on.
Right.
And Iris, we get to see her try to lean on her, like she gets mad because no one's taking her blog seriously, or her, newspaper seriously, because it was a blog. Like, why would you take it seriously? But I think they use that kind of to light the fire, but we also get to see that Iris is a pretty good detective. She's a pretty good investigator. And she's a pretty dumb investigator, but pretty good.
So like you said, I like the idea of, because we've seen it before, and I think we need them to be consistent with it. I like, we know Iris is a good investigative journalist, an investigator. I mean, her dad's a detective. Like, she's got that skill set, and we've seen her work this angle before. My biggest issue, this is why I did my synopsis the way I did. My biggest issue, and I really want them to fix this. You can't have Iris running around, running Team Flash with all of the resources that Star Labs has in her pocket. And then when it comes time to do something like this, she's pen and paper, and like, you got to give me a reason why she didn't sit there and go, "Hey, Sherloque, I need your help. Can you run? Can you say in my ear? I'm going to go check out this. I'm going to go check out Cicada's house. Like, I need them to explain why she's done that. Like, a throwaway line like, I want to be able to do it on my own. I want to keep what Team Flash does separate from my own investigative journalism stuff. Like, there's an easy way to do it.
I think that she was just chasing down the lead. Like, she didn't expect to stumble upon him in the second place.
The only reason why I push back against that is she saw the dollhouse that looks like the dollhouse. But
once she's there, but she's not. She didn't see it before she walked in the room.
No, she did.
Once she's there,
she did.
Like, can I step out and take a phone call real quick?
No, actually, she did. She saw the dollhouse, which is what got her into climbing through the window. That's what did it. And that's why it bothered me, because I'm like,
yep, you're
at
right.
that point she should have known.
All you Iris fans, you saw me. I tried. He was right though.
Right, and like I said, it's a small thing, and again, going back to how close it is to the comics. To be real, Iris in the comics puts herself in some really dumb situations all the time too, and it's kind of it's like the Lois Lane thing, but it's not like a helpless damsel in distress thing. It's she's such an investigative journalist, she'll put herself in danger to get the story, and I just need them to kind of give me an answer to why. Like, I just need them to kind of figure it out, even if it's like, hey, you know what? Because there was a hint of that when she was talking to Barry, when she was kind of upset about her online magazine, her online newspaper, aka blog, not being taken seriously.
It sounds like something I could please click unsubscribe below. Like, I feel like it's one of these.
But like when she was talking to Barry about it, and she was just like, I need something else, and he was like, and he basically gave her the permission to go to write about Cicada, and she immediately popped up, was like, all right, cool, that's all. And he's like, was that what you were waiting for? You were just waiting to kind of trick Barry into saying it's okay for you to write about Cicada, which is what you want to do the entire time. And I can see that maybe it's like there's a way to tell the story about why she wouldn't call up Cisco, or call up I know they wrote out Cisco this episode, not wrote him out, but they gave a read for why Cisco wasn't there, or Caitlin, right, or Sherloque, or even her fucking daughter. Like, again, you spend us all this time of having, especially the last episode, where you kind of get this bond between Iris and Nora. Why doesn't she ask Nora?
I think an underplayed part of Iris's arc has always been kind of, we've seen her be stupid because she wants to prove she can do it.
Well, and right, and so I'm saying,
and while like we said with some of the backsliding stuff with Ralph, it kind of takes you like, aren't they past that? But then maybe sometimes we have to relearn lessons. We have all maybe redated people. Those were always mistakes. Mm-hmm. But we learned, we had some laughs, and we moved on.
Right.
And I think that's what's happening here. I think that while we are confident in her place on this team, she also looks around and is like, I have no fucking powers.
Yeah.
And literally everyone else in the room does.
Well, and again, we've seen this before in other shows where somebody's like, mm-hmm, why are you being stupid? Why are you doing this way? And it's like, yo, I wanted
It's literally Xander's entire role on Buffy.
Well, yeah. Well, it can also be like, she's like, yo, I want this. I want to separate my Team Flash duties from, like, there's the easiest answer is, she's like, I'm already not impartial because I'm writing about the Flash, who's my husband and nobody knows, and I'm writing about the meta that my husband's going after. I have to have some kind of barrier between what I do in my professional life and what I'm doing in my personal life with Team Flash. So if they even came out and said that right there, I'd be like, you know what? kind of ridiculous, but because it's all like it shouldn't matter. But I can see her drawing that line in between there and going why she doesn't use Team Flash resources to do her her journalism business. Like I can go with that, even if she's inconsistent with it. I can go with that. So and you know what, they've been doing a good job this season. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't kind of address that right there. And so again, it was a small thing. I know I made it seem like it was a big thing in my synopsis, but it's not. It's something that we've seen Iris do before, so it's not like it's totally out of character for her. But it did stick out to me. It was like, yo, everybody else, like you literally have satellites. Star Labs has satellites. You guys have a speed lab. Why aren't you calling them again? So, but I can understand. I can talk myself into why she didn't do that. Let's talk about Sherloque and Sherloque. What is it? Sherloque? I can never say his fucking name right. First of all,
I'd say it wrong on purpose.
Here's the thing. I love the fact that you find out that, like, I knew when he first saw the woman that was just like, that was going to be his wife on all the other Earths. Like, it just...
I didn't. That was a nice little wrinkle.
Well, I think the nice little wrinkle was that there was that many, like, it was every single one of them, and that they all talk to each other. Like, I love that. But it also then has me wondering, like, how did Thawne really know?
Thank you, my dude. The questions that need answers.
How did Thawne really... Because that's, again, you know, that... Thawne is using Wells's face.
Yes.
He is not Wells. Unless...
Correct.
Because remember, in this Earth, Wells and his wife died. Or did she die? Did she die in that? I know Thawne caused the accident and then took Wells's face. Did he kill... I don't know. Maybe he didn't.
I think he killed her in the accident.
Yeah, I think he did too. So
yeah, she died in the accident.
But like, so it then makes you wonder: is this not a Wells? Because it doesn't make any sense. Like, how would he? Why would Thawne be this invested in knowing? Because the way he said it was just like, you know, you wear a man's face, you know everything about it. I'm like, yeah. Really? I was like, you know what? That makes sense. But then you're like, wait a minute, but you're literally just wearing his face. Like, and again, the other thing is, why are you wearing his face still? Like, what's going on here?
I like that they're just giving us, because they know that we have to ask these questions. They know that this is the show. This is season 5. They know what they're doing. Right.
So I'm very, very, very intrigued by this, because it's just like, yo, how did Wells know all this stuff? Like, how did he know this was the woman and that this was? Because again, we've never seen this. Like, is Harry's wife the same woman?
No, I don't think she's dead though.
Yeah. So, but was she the same woman?
Oh goodness.
You know, like
I doubt. Like that's too much. This is, I think. I don't.
But no,
again,
but
we don't know how he knows so much about Sherloque, unless he eventually takes Sherloque's face.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like there's so much. I have so many questions.
This is
here.
the well. I think Thawne's going to come and take Sherloque's place, and that's how he's going to get to the present to work with Nora.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's the only, like, not the only explanation. This show has lots of loopholes and speed forces and things. Things can happen. I get that, but it's the most logical one right now.
Yeah, I'm very, very like, I'm. Thawne is fucking everything up for me right now, because I was like, I don't know what everything we're doing. I don't know where we're going with this, because it's just like, what is he doing? What is his plan? But like you said, time is malleable. What if somehow he comes back and he takes, like, there's so many things that can go on here. Like, I'm very, very like, whew, boy, it's not looking good. I also love the fact that once again we're seeing how Thawne has trained Nora to do things to kind of change how things happen. You know, like having him go and have her. So the other thing too is like, how did that Thawne that's in the future locked up with Wells's face, How did he know this woman was going to be there at that moment to tell Nora to cause that meeting to happen? Like there, and the way that Thawne talked about it was, and the way he said it to Nora was almost like he's causing that meeting to happen earlier, just like he did when he killed Barry's mom, and he called, and then he caused Metas to happen earlier, right? So is he? And we also know that Cicada has shown up earlier. Like, is he? Was this Wells always supposed to meet this woman at this time? I have so many questions right now as to what's going on with this Thawne and what he knows, and I feel like it's gonna be a fucking bombshell when it comes in and when they reveal what it is, because these things are not. They're adding up, but not adding up. You know what I'm saying? Like they're adding up into this being like something really, really fucked up's gonna happen, but they're not adding up because I'm just like, yo, what does all this mean? And I'm very, very intrigued with that. And at the same time, it's not taken away from Cicada and Orlin, because Orlin was fucking creepy as shit. Answering like the entire time I'm looking at Iris going, oh seriously, like part of the reason why I'm upset with you right now is this man is fucking scaring the shit out of me. Like you got to get out of there, danger, girl. Danger. Get the fuck out. Like, what the fuck are we doing? So, like, the Thawne stuff is not taken away from Cicada, but I just have, like, what is his end goal? Like, because it's not good. It's not good. We know it's not good. So, what is he trying to do? So, I don't know. You got any theories?
No, I'm just here for the ride now. At this point, like, look, I'm not trying to outsmart anyone on this show. They covered all their corners. Every time we have a question, they seem to answer it. I thought, oh, how should you address Sherloque getting closer? Just throw the motherfucker off the scent. And with these very detailed how to do it instructions from Thawne, which she's not asking any questions about. Also, why is she a meta? Why does she have powers?
Yeah.
I've done a pretty good job of sourcing everyone's powers, particularly in the season with the explosions and the meta-human powered shards. What the fuck? And also, why hasn't Cicada killed her yet?
Well,
he seemed to have had a list.
Well, he had a list, but remember, is she a meta that created by the? Remember, there's only certain metas he's going after, right? He's going after other metas created by dark matter, right?
No, he's not. He's trying to kill everything. He's trying to kill Vibe.
True. You're right.
He's just out here killing fucking metas.
Yeah. You're right. I don't know, man. So many questions. I have so many questions. You're right. It was the fact that he can only affect he can't take the powers away of people that weren't affected by dark matter.
Right.
Well, actually, no, that's not true either. Because he can take. Why can't he? No, it's I can't remember what exactly the reason is, but because he can't take away Killer Frost's powers, and I can't. There's a reason for that, but I couldn't remember exactly off the top of my head. Because he can take away everybody else's power, but he can't take away Killer Frost.
Right.
But yeah, man. I'm so. Why is it like? What is the whole purpose of? I don't know, man. I just so many things here. So many things. Like I'm suspicious of everybody. Because here's the other thing too, yo. Every season, a Wells does something that kind of betrays the team,
or at least wholly unexpected.
Right, and so I don't even know, man. Like I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. So, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, just love this show, man. It's great. It's nice to talk about the show. I'm in the middle of like a bunch of recordings we were talking about earlier, but it's nice to just have this show to talk about because it's such a great watch. And even in episodes where there's no speed, there's pointedly no superpowers, I was compelled by everything that happened, not just on the screen, but also in the words and in the action and the development of all the characters. And Ralph Hive is full. All y'all say the fuck out. We've been here. We've been established. No latecomers.
Yo, Ralph has been a great character this season. I'm sorry.
You need to drop the Dpalm was right shirts. I'm just saying, like,
He really
it's
was.
happening enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Ralph's been great. And again, it's like that he's fit in so well. I mean, last week it was him hoping, hoping, cheer up Cisco. This week it's kind of protecting Barry. And of course Barry can't help himself but be a fucking cop. It's like, wait, I don't, no, I don't want anything. I don't want anything. Wait, you said those are cop killer guns? I'll take them all. Like Barry.
And also like a lot of shows, if they bring in Nora, it's just kind of, you're Dark from the Future here, and you get all the interpersonal stuff, but it just happens to be a wrinkle. They made it a central plot point by having her be coached by Thawne, and then you have to realize this episode, I'm in so deep, I can't even tell my dad how I got here.
Yeah.
He can never know why I'm really here.
Yeah. Which again goes back to Thawne being this master manipulator, because he knows that. He knows that she can't. So now he's getting. So then it also gets me to believe, it's like, is this also part of the plan? Him telling Nora, oh, yeah, now you got to do this and you got to change this. And how many, because now he's getting her, because at first it was, you got to change things to help your father stop Cicada. Now she's changing things to protect her own secret. Like, now he's getting her to change little things in the timeline here and there. Next thing you know, he's gonna ask her to change one thing, and it's gonna help. She's gonna go to the future to find Thawne, and she's gonna find an empty cell.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Hickman's FF run, where Val figures out they just need to push. They need to make an 8-minute window.
Yeah.
It really feels like that. Like Thawne's like, I need to push things in certain directions to where I've got this sliver that I can manipulate, a place where I can work. Because all a snake needs is a fucking inch to move, man. And he is a snake in a cage who wants the fuck out.
I mean, remember, like, Thawne is the master time traveler right now. Like,
yes.
He sped up an entire timeline in terms of when metas were supposed to be happening and show up by 2 years, and didn't get caught. It's like he knows what he's fucking doing. So yeah, man, like I really feel like that's gonna be the scene that happens is Nora's gonna something's gonna happen. She's gonna realize she fucked up, and she's gonna go to try to confront Thawne, and she's gonna show up at his jail cell, and he's not gonna be there.
Empty as hell.
And they're gonna be like, "What do you mean? Thawne was never here. There was never an Eobard Thawne.
We have no records of a prisoner Thawne."
Right. Like she's gonna show up, and it's gonna be somebody totally different. I'm waiting on that to happen, and now realize she fucked up majorly. So, yeah, so many different theories, so many different possibilities. I'm here for it all. You know what it is though? I feel like we're finally getting back to the Flash we wanted. The Flash of the first two seasons, where you just sit there and be like, oh, what theory is going to happen? What's going to happen here? Just like the comics here. Like, I really feel like we're getting back to that. We're getting back to the
heavy time travel, but not using it as a crutch, using it as a tool.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, man, I'm all in. Love this. So. All right, folks. All right. So I know we said that we were gonna do the Gifted just all at the same time, but I went and checked the schedule, and the Gifted comes back for it's been on break for a while, and it comes back on I think Monday or Tuesday. So we're gonna go ahead and do a review of the last 4 episodes coming this Friday, and then we'll do one more review of the last 3 episodes. So you'll get our Gifted review coming up on that on Super Tuesday Recap. And then I think
the subtitle for that episode will also be Dpalm was right. And for all you listeners out there who know how to hurt me, stop sending me the Transformers toy link. I know. Okay. I know.
Send it to him anyway. See, you're doing it wrong. So what you got to do is you got to just set up like a GoFundMe, and then push that, and then tell people if you're gonna send me links to Transformers, why don't you just go ahead and put some money on my books, and that way I can buy them. So you're hustling backwards, man. You're hustling backwards.
I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but I'm also not saying I'm not going to do that.
I know you had a moment. You're sitting there thinking, going like, "Wait a minute."
I had a moment of like, what is my bingo?
Right. For a minute, he was like, "Yo, I don't want to say Kriss is right here, but
yeah,
he's making some solid
there
points."
There we go. Kriss is right. Everybody gets one. That's fair.
Right.
Kriss is
right. I think also next week is will be scheduled for us to do the next 3 episodes of Star Trek Discovery, so stay tuned for that. Also, I know some of you guys have been waiting for this. The Comic Book Club is coming back this month. We've been on break since something like November. So if you're a premium member, now's the time to sign up. $8 a month. We're gonna be bringing in like we're getting a lot of. I'm gonna start trying to record a lot of premium episodes, so we're ready for the rest of the year. So we're gonna do the Wicked and Divine. I know I'm also going to schedule something with myself and Shanna. We're gonna go through Kelly Sue DeConnick's Captain Marvel run, and we're gonna have that ready, hopefully ready after the movie comes out. So we got a lot of stuff, and then obviously we're gonna be doing Captain Marvel with the character corner. So just stay tuned. We got stuff coming up with the non-premium feed and the premium feed. And Scarestalgia is officially back because we thought that we weren't coming back, but there's so many other things on that horror film. So we're back, guys. We're back. So just stay tuned, and guys, thank you guys very much for listening. And until next time, we're out of here.